Hi, Bernhard.
Hi, Carsten.
So, what are we trying to show today?
This is about the feature Start VM on Connect. And it helps you to save money with your Azure Virtual Desktop environment, right? Because it gives you the possibility to have a user um, launch or boot up their desktop whenever they need it, right? So you can shut down all of the virtual desktops over the weekend, for example, to save money. And whenever a user comes back to work, they can start their virtual machine whenever they need it, right?
Mhm. So, of course, I like that because saving money is always a great feature. So,
Mhm.
let's dig in, right?
hmm Yeah, and maybe we show it. We show the before and after, right? So
Yeah,
if you want to switch to your screen and show, what the current setting is.
yeah. So you see here our cluster where our 10 Azure virtual desktops are deployed, those
Mm-hmm.
10s, and they are all turned off because we are in the money saving state. Nothing is running here, so we have no additional costs
Mm-hmm.
in Azure for the running AVD hosts. And let me just pull up a remote desktop client, and I want to connect to the desktop pool. It's even working with a pool. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, it's great if you have personal the session hosts, but it
Mm-hmm.
also works with a pool. So the whole pool is turned off. And you
Mm-hmm.
see here, I tried to connect and it doesn't work. And let's
Okay.
switch back to your screen and you can
Yeah.
explain a little bit on the.
And that makes perfectly sense, right? Because no virtual machine is turned on, so there is no agent returning back to AVD like, hey, I can take users. Nobody would be able to. So this is the expected state, right?
Mhm.
But you may have seen something under properties here, which is the feature here, Start VM on Connect, right? And that's what we're going to enable, right? But this is not only it. You need to do more things. And let's maybe go through the steps on PowerPoint first, and then do it in real life, right? Because
Okay, show
um,
show the PowerPoint.
right. So let me go here, and it's maybe a little bit weird on how to configure it, because the idea is that somebody in your Azure subscription is able to press the start button on your virtual machine whenever an Azure Virtual Desktop user comes in, right?
Mhm.
And that's usually done, using with a privileged account, or with an enterprise application. Or with an application itself, right? And
Mhm.
there is an application for Windows Virtual Desktop. So this is the Microsoft provided Windows or Azure Virtual Desktop application, and you need to give this one rights on your VMs so that this application can press the start button, right? So you
Mhm.
enable the automation account for that feature, if you will, right? You're very explicit with the rules or with the roles that you give, right? So it's not like that this user account has then admin permissions on your subscription. No, it's just for powering on that VMs, right?
Mhm.
And in order to find that account, you have a very well-known specific GUID, right? Which you don't take any other GUID, right? This is taken from the official Microsoft documentation, right? So you would find it online if you search um, for Azure Virtual Desktop Service Principles. That was sort of redirected from the Start VM on Connect um, web page, right?
Mhm.
And here you could see that application ID that you need to look for. So
Mhm.
let's go back into the PowerPoint, and do it one more time, and then we'll do it in real life. Okay, so we need this GUID. Then we have, the application's name,
Yeah.
because in the next section we need to, we can't specify the GUID for assigning the RBAC permissions. We need to specify the name of that app and give it the desktop virtualization power on contributor rights, right?
Mhm.
And we give it on at the place or the scope, um, where your resources are, right? So
Mhm.
you could either give it individually to, let's say, a resource group where all these Azure Virtual Desktop virtual machines are in, or if that feature should be available for any other virtual desktop VM in your whole subscription, you can even give it to the whole subscription, right? It depends a little bit on how restrictive you want to be, but in our case, we'll only give it to the appropriate resource group. Okay,
Mhm.
that's not only it. You need to do then, do the checkbox on the start on connect feature
Yeah.
at the host pool that you want
Yeah.
to enable.
So I have to add something here, and it's a bit weird. You're
Mm.
completely right. Why do I search over the GUID the name? And we tried the name directly, and we were not so successful. Though this way works for us,
Yeah,
and maybe the name changed. So
yeah.
go
Maybe
this
at the
way, it works. Yeah.
yeah.
So let's do that, Bernhard.
Okay, let's do it. So go back to the host pool itself, right? Maybe I'll do it a little bit in the reverse order. So maybe let's check it
Only
here,
this
right?
step, please.
Only this step, right? So this is set to yes, save it.
Yeah.
That would not be enough at the moment. I'm still missing out the permissions, right? And in order
Hmm.
to find that, I need to go to the Entra ID and go to the yes, let's see, search your tenant functionality. No, that's not it. I need to copy and paste the number. So let's take it from here or from the official website and take it from there. And there you could see the Windows Virtual Desktop Enterprise app, right? So that's the thing that I need.
Hmm.
Right now it has this name, so I can copy it. And now I need to go back to my resource group where the desktops are in. And I think you have placed it into
Yeah,
this
we
one,
have
right?
it where the cluster is. Maybe we should do a
Right.
separate resource group, but we didn't.
So
So
you
we put it
see,
here.
yeah, so all of them are here. So let's go there and add the role assignment and add the power on, I think what it was. So the desktop virtualization power on contributor rights. Okay,
Hmm.
we may need to do the power off contributor rights as well, but not in this video, right? Because it's only start VM on connect. We may do a power off as well in order to save money in a later video when we
Yeah.
are shutting down the VMs. But at this stage, we only need the power on contributor
Hmm.
rights. And that's for the Windows Virtual Desktop application, right?
Hmm.
And next we go, we say review and assign. And then I think it's demo time, right? So the role is there. We have enabled the feature. Now you please go back, grab the screen and do the connection one more time.
With pleasure. So I grab the screen again, and
Mm-hmm,
here we are again. All our VMs are still
mm-hmm,
turned off. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
So you see that, and now I will try to connect, and maybe I have to try it twice. Let's see. So I clicked. So, and here you see starting remote PC. So it's telling us now
Mm-hmm,
not there is an error. It's starting this VM here. You see
mm-hmm,
the 9, the 10th VM is now running,
mm-hmm.
and I think it will ask me in a moment for my credentials to
Mm-hmm.
log in. Yeah.
So you need to educate the users a little bit to say, hey, this is not an instant on feature, right? I mean, it
Yeah.
may take some time. It may be good to take a coffee or, to grab a coffee and wait a little bit before that comes up. But, you could see the difference in the behavior of that remote desktop client. It's now, putting you in a pause state. And that's the similar behavior as it is in Azure, right? So if you do AVD in Azure, it's the same behavior, right? But a little bit the technology, what is being used for booting up the virtual machines is different, right? Because we are on-prem and the remote control for these desktops is, or for the virtual machines, is through the Azure Resource Bridge component or the Arc-enabled VMs, and that component needs to be there in order to, turn on a VM on your host. Okay.
So FS Logic was running. Now I'm logging into my desktop.
Mhm.
It's not my desktop. It's one of the pooled desktops. Of course, this feature is more useful if you have personal desktops. Normally, one or two machines are running in your pool. So I'm now on the machine.
Mhm.
I can have a look which one it is. So let's just go
Yeah, but
here
with
and
this functionality, I mean, it is, I would say it's that it came originally from the personal desktop. However, it was also later on then enabled for multi-session desktops for pooled host pools, right? Because it makes sense there as well. And especially in the case for Azure Stack HCI, where you need to save money, maybe, right? And where you have states where you shut down your hosts or some session hosts as well, then I think it is a useful combination. Okay.
I think so too. So I like it very much, and I'm looking forward to the scaling plans.
Okay. See you then in the next video.